a lot more things are centrally planned when it comes to land use than people realize. Like if you go into the zoning code for your local city in the US, you will find things like this agricultural zone is allowed to have a building that houses up to 4 workers, but not 5 workers. It can have this much square footage, but not 10% more because suddenly it goes into this other category. It's basically describing the world around you in just like legal text.
I know it's such a complex problem that you're solving, but like how exactly do you even build a town? So like diligence, buy land, infrastructure, vertical development, like that level of like, if we're writing a cookbook for how do we do it?
One of the key variables of like that would change how you do this is how remote is the place that you're going. So like a lot of people really like going to California wine country and like already live there and buy homes there. It's like we're not creating an entirely new market where nothing existed before. That would be a different like challenge altogether, but it's a bit different. For us, we're doing something hard, but it's not like the absolute hardest mode. Yeah, I think the first thing was like even just finding the land. You want to make sure that the type of soil is like something you can build on, or at least is not super expensive to build on. You want to make sure that someone didn't like leave nuclear waste there that you don't know about, which like is like something you actually want to check, or like some other type of like pollution. There's a lot of types of pollution. Like try not to ever live on top of a former gas station. Not good for your health. And so there's like stuff like that you need to check for.
How long does that take, by the way?
That kind of diligence, it depends on how detailed and like 100% certain you want to be. And it also depends on the size of the property, how many assumptions you're kind of willing to take. So for us, that phase took about 9 months. There's sort of 3 legs of that stool. One is just like basic site analysis that I just mentioned, like you have a geotech report, soils report, stuff like that. A second one is financial analysis. So what we did was we created a pro forma, like a financial model, where we said, okay, given that we're going to be allowed to build like approximately this amount of housing, retail, hotel, restaurants, blah, blah, blah. Here's how much we think that will cost. Like we had our general contractor do costing, and then here's how much revenue we think we'll get. And then we're like, do we think we're going to get more revenue than there will be costs? Great. Okay. That was done at a fairly high level, and the plan will certainly change, but it was like a sanity check to be like, can you build something that will pay for itself, basically. And then the third one, which is really important and increasingly important in California, but in the world, is politics. Is it politically like will people let you build it? I think a lot of people who have not been in development, like most people, they think like, oh, if it's your land, you can just do whatever you want, right? And that is just like that really couldn't be farther from the truth. Like deciding to build stuff, especially like big things, is a community decision. I say that descriptively, not normatively. There's other ways you could do it, but like that is how it is. And being able to get people excited about what you're doing and make them like get them to the point where they see it as something that will be good for them and for their town and for their community and for the county is like something that is like really important. And if you don't get that right, if you're not building something that's good for them, or you don't know how to tell the story so that they see that it's going to be positive for them, it's not going to happen. And so we wanted to diligence that as well. And one thing that we've been really thrilled about is I was expecting that to be the hardest piece, because people always tell you like in California, no one lets you build anything anymore.
There is counter reactions to that. Yeah.
And it's very real. People are generally correct that those things exist. But I think because we had done the pop-up for the first year before, like when we were just starting the diligence process, we did this like show instead of tell, where we said, we're truly trying to create a community. We're trying to create something unique. We're not just building a bunch of like houses and then getting the heck out. You know, we're trying to build something generational and special for this whole region. We've gotten an incredible outpouring of support. And we have not had a lot of people, opposing the project. People have questions, of course, but it's not been like super negative. And it's actually been quite funny where a bunch of people on my team have decades of experience of development throughout the Bay Area, and they keep like having to pinch themselves every time we have a public meeting. They're like, "That was so positive. Like, why? Well, I've never seen that before. I didn't even know it was possible to have this much like positivity about a project." So, anyways. Those are the 3 legs of the stool of the diligence, is like the site analysis, the financial analysis, and then the basically political analysis. Like, will you be allowed to do what you want?